G'day cadets, Swapman Outfits here, and today is summer vacation. First day of summer, I'm finally back. And a few things before we get into this video. First of all, I got a haircut a few weeks ago, and my blue strip is now gone. However, I do have a makeup. So recently I started watching Let Me Explain Studios. Her animations are pretty good. I just started watching them today. And I cannot believe the trauma she went through in high school with the stupid dress codes and the ridiculous hateful theater teacher. I'm sorry. And then I saw this Backyard Stories, and considering that it's summertime, I thought I would check it out. Alright, I'll put the original video along with her channel in the description down below. Anyway, let's get to the video.
Ah, the backyard.
It is.
The personal wonderland of suburban kids everywhere. A place of curiosity and imagination. A minefield of anthills and lost Hot Wheels.
What?
A peaceful refuge where the greatest childhood memories are made.
That's some good. Oh no!
Girls! She did it! Hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers and entertainers, my little oodle ollies. Rebecca Parham here. Backyards are great. They have grass and trees and fences.
And
to a
gardens.
kid, they could be the plains of Africa, the jungles of Papua New Guinea, the great wilderness of Alaska. Or the perfect place for a treehouse. Can I just go on record to say that I freaking love treehouses? I mean,
geez.
look at these. They're mystical.
I always wanted a
and woodsy
treehouse,
and
but
full of
we don't have
character.
some of the strongest
And away
trees.
from people. Look at this one. I want to live there.
Why?
I want to hook it up with Wi-Fi and a sauna. I want all the local kids to call me the Witch of the Woods and tell stories about how I'll steal your toes if you get too close to my house. I want to be
Do you want to steal my toes? Do you want to steal this toe? So what technically happened in this picture, that's actually my toe on the middle of my right foot, this foot right here. What happened is, this happened a couple of summers ago, a few years ago, I think it's 2013. Yeah, 6 years ago. I apparently went walking in a river, and then I tripped on a sharp rock or a piece of glass. Apparently that cut through the nail, and that was like 1/3 of the nail gone. This was actually taken a year ago. Alright, anyway, so it didn't cut through the bone, which I was really glad to hear, because my dad had a toe injury, and now I have a toe injury. What do you know? They must run in the family. So my brother never had a toe injury. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Just wanted to tell you about this. Now let's get back to the video.
a ghost story. Wait, we're off topic. Backyards.
Okay.
A staple of suburban living. I lived in suburbia as a kid with all the trimmings. Neighborhood kids to play with, nearby woods to explore, a school I could walk to and from. And you can't forget your standard issue bully that lives up the street.
I never had a
My bully kid
bully.
was named Jocko. Jocko.
Did you
now,
make
Jocko
that up?
wasn't your
Actually, I
run-of-the-mill
don't think you
bully
did.
kid. You know, the big thundering monsters that you stay away from at all costs, like a canker sister or a Flats the Flounder. No. Jocko was more like Buford from Phineas and Ferb. Still a bully, but one that got involved in the adventures, and you invited over for a game of baseball sometimes. He was a weird one for sure. One time we were over at his house in his backyard, and he needed to, release the hounds.
Oh, no.
But instead of going inside and doing his business like a normal person, he popped a squat right there in the grass and made fertilizer. And then his dog ate it. He also once found a lighter in our backyard and decided that he wanted to make a campfire. And my sister and I were just like, yeah, sure, sounds fun. At some point during our tomfoolery of gathering things to incinerate in our campfire, Jocko wanted to act all tough, so he pointed the lighter at me and my sister and lit it. Just so happened
Bad
my
idea,
mom looked up from doing
Jocko.
the dishes and saw that through the kitchen window, and she ran out screaming at us. Unsurprisingly, Jocko had to go home. Glad she caught us too, because we weren't even messing around at that point. We were gonna light a freaking pyre. Give the hellfire and brimstone preacher something to talk about, if you know what I mean.
It's not the 4th
save
of
us
July
from
yet.
The unholy demons known as the Parham children, thank you, Jesus. Actually, my dad did call me a firebug sometimes when I was a kid because I tended to like fire, and still kinda do. Hey, it's warm and pretty and gets rid of evidence. Everything you want in a boyfriend.
Wait a
The
minute,
big
I thought you
story
liked
that
tree
I remember
houses.
about Jocko was the tree incident. One day, my sister and I were playing baseball with Jocko in our backyard when one of us hit the ball over the fence into the neighbor's yard.
Uh-oh.
Our neighbor wasn't home and their backyard gate was locked, so Jocko came up with a bright idea. He began climbing our giant oak tree so he could swing over to the neighbor's tree, climb down, and retrieve the ball. And Rachel and I just stood there watching him climb, periodically going, "You're gonna fall! We're gonna have to call the fire department to get you down!"
Have confidence!
Which I think only strengthened his resolve to make his brilliant plan work because he just kept climbing. Now strap in for this one, explainers, it gets good.
No.
When he got close to the neighbor's tree and was about 15 feet off the ground, he grabbed a pencil-thin branch in his hands and actually tried to swing to the neighbor's tree like he was freaking Tarzan.
What?
Apparently, Jocko has never seen a Wile E. Coyote cartoon because then he would have known better. Who says cartoons rot your brain? Guess what? The branch snapped.
Call back to those old classics. I love those classics. Oh no. What happened? Oh my.
Jocko had not only fallen, no, he had crashed through the neighbor's wet bar.
Oh god.
Which my sources tell me is a bar or counter equipped with running water and a sink for serving alcoholic beverages in a home environment.
Oh, I don't have one.
And Jocko had completely obliterated this thing. It was like a dinosaur had stepped on it. Just went.
The
Jocko
Jockosaurus.
was screaming so loud that his dad, who was working in their front yard up the street, heard it, came running,
Wow.
and kicked in the neighbor's gate to get to him.
That's a
he
good
ended up having
dad.
a broken arm, which I'm still surprised to this day that that's all that happened. From the damage that I saw to this wet bar, I'm surprised he's not dead.
Yeah.
There should have been some fractured
That's actually a
ribs or
miracle.
brain damage or something. Well, I guess if you're meant to hang, you won't drown. He also had to pay the neighbor back for the wet
Oh,
bar.
no.
Just to add insult to injury.
Oh no.
Rolling on with the theme of
Poor
breaking
Jocko.
things, my sister and I actually did the childhood cliche of breaking a window with a baseball.
I never
You thought
did.
that opening skit was just a witty farce, huh? No, actually happened. My sister and I were in the backyard playing baseball with the neighborhood kids. Big surprise there. I was pitching, she was batting. I tossed her the ball, she hit it. It veered off to the right and crashed right through my parents' bedroom
Oh
window.
no.
And everyone in that backyard except Rachel hit the deck.
R.I.P. Rachel.
My parents came racing outside and found my sister standing there with bat in hand, completely flustered. Both of my parents were mad, but my mom told Rachel to go get her piggy bank because she was gonna pay for it.
Oh,
But
jeez.
Dad jumped in and said, "Hey, that's not fair. It was an accident. Every kid gets to break one window with a
Thank
baseball."
you, dude.
Yeah, that was my dad for you. He never forgot what it was like to be a kid, so he wanted the most fulfilling childhood for us.
And he's a good
including all of
dad.
the classic mistakes, like breaking a window with a baseball. So now I gotta tell one on me. About time, I suppose. When I was about 9
Hey,
and
one
should have
moment,
known
my best
better,
friend
I'd
texted me.
sometimes pass the time in the backyard by taking an old fence post, laying it over the side of our raised garden beds, and jumping on the end of it, launching an array of different materials into the air.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Rocks, pebbles, grass, sticks, anything.
Oh,
This
Jesus.
is what we did before we had the internet, kids. One day, I really wanted to launch a ball off of my makeshift catapult, but there was a
Considering that I
problem.
was born in
The
2001,
ball would
I
roll
can
off
imagine
of the fence
that.
post before I could launch it.
So these-
Physics. Who knew? And in order to complete my little experiment, I needed an assistant. Oh, David!
David?
My little brother David was about 3 at the time and was very susceptible to suggestion, which worked out perfectly for me, not so perfectly
Oh,
for him.
no.
I told him on the count of 3
Considering
he was
I'm a
going to
young
put
brother.
the ball on the fence post so I could quickly jump on the other end before it rolled off. Simple enough, wouldn't you say? But when I counted to 3 to commence our experiment, he did something a little
Oh, no.
unforeseen. He leaned down
Oh, no.
directly over the fence post to very carefully place the ball. And by the time I looked over and
You could've
saw
just
him
used
doing
nails.
that, it was too late. My entire
Oh,
weight
no.
came down
Poor
and the fence
David.
post smacked him right in the face.
Poor David.
Well, I'm dead.
Yes.
I bequeath everything to my Teddy Ruxpin. David rightfully screamed at the top of his lungs and ran inside to Mom and Dad, who were not happy at all.
I can imagine.
David's whole face swelled up, and there was a puncture
Wait,
wound
that
on
puncture
his
wound?
cheek that was maybe an
my
inch
God.
away from his eye.
Jesus.
And he still has a scar there to
Oh my
this
God.
day. I got in a lot of trouble, and my parents yelled at me that I could have blinded him. Even though it was an accident,
Yes!
he wasn't supposed to put his face over the catapult.
Don't blame him.
But I felt really bad, to the point where I still felt bad years later into adulthood when someone would bring up this
Oh,
story.
no.
But now, I've animated it and shown it to 1 million people.
8 million
so
to
it
be
holds no more
exact.
power over me anymore. Animation, my antidepressant. So yeah, backyards, imagination, magic, wonder, childhood trauma, you get the idea. But seriously guys, go spend some time outside, get some sunshine and fresh air, it builds character. It's also really good for your mental health. Anyways,
Considering
thank
I
you
do have
so much
one.
for tuning in, but wait a minute, editor.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you loved the video, subscribe to my channel for more videos. Check out Let Me Explain Studio in the description down below. Also, comment a dare or a question in the description down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.